Who initiates sex and why it matters so much? The subject of sex and who initiates it has always been one-sided. It has been estimated that the average heterosexual couple leaves this role for the man in many cases. A woman deciding not to initiate sex is based on social conditioning that they have to be timid and shy when it comes to sex. It is also good to point out that when a woman is often an initiator, she is seen as too sexual and higher than usual libido. The dynamics in homosexual relationships have been said to be different. It is recorded that there are no clear initiators when it comes to women who sleep with women. The roles are open, and everyone contributes equally. Another survey conducted in 2012 showed that the more dominant men in gay relationships were letting down the part and giving the more submissive partners the chance to contribute evenly. This mixed pattern of sex initiation flattens the reverse roles and leaves things open for exploration from all angles. It is crucial to a relationship that there are no roles placed on the initiation of sex. It should be available to everyone and evenly worked out according to who is in the mood. To initiate sex is as controversial as who takes the trash out and who does the dishes. It could either be assigned or rotated in a relationship. There are two ways to initiate sex, directly and indirectly. Hey, before I talk about that though, make sure to hit the subscribe button if this is your first time here. The direct way to initiate sex is to ask if your partner wants to have sex or take off your clothes in front of them. It is proved that this quickly gets rejected as compared to indirect initiation. The direct way of initiating sex is something that men do. It is typically attributed to being comfortable about initiation and considering it as one's job. They are more open to verbal consent and direct questions about sex. The indirect way is to cuddle, compliment them, or passionately kiss them. It is believed that this gets a higher rate of resulting in sex typically. This approach is a common way that women initiate sex. Since they feel more uncomfortable being open about it, they use subtle hints. It is also known that there are subsets that may be the exception. The very progressive, highly ranked, successful woman may be a little more demanding and say it when they want sex. This dynamic is attributed to power and control, and being independent stops you from not being bound by gender roles. The average woman who is very comfortable initiating sex has more sexual satisfaction than those who wait for their partners to initiate. It is also said that although men are direct about their approaches, they are turned on more when a woman asks. It might not happen often, but when it does, they enjoy it. As we discuss initiating sex, it is essential to also talk about being rejected. On average, 76% of initiation ends up in sex. This statistic means that there is still a lot more left hanging if we remove coercion and violent sexual offenses from the 76%. This statistic means there is a chance that everyone has been rejected at least once. When you reject a person's initiation of sex, the approach makes all the difference. A person who has braved themselves to initiate sex and gets a cold response will most likely be hurt and probably feel unwanted. If the rejection is based on fatigue or just not being in the mood, it is necessary to offer other forms of sexual action, like cuddling, to make the person see that you still love them. If you ignore the person completely, it may be a reason for them not to initiate again. If the rejection is on a loss of sexual desire, the one who has lost interest should lovingly tell the other party to find their way out of the situation. Sometimes we overestimate our place in other people's lives and end up feeling like we deserve more than they are willing to give us. It is essential, therefore, to be able to tell people where they fit. The question is why it matters so much that someone initiates sex. When you meet a stranger at a bar and want to take them back home for sex, there is usually not much initiation needed on anyone's part because you have explained to each other the circumstances of your late-night debauchery are. It is easy for either of you to go straight for the kill as soon as you hit home. However, it becomes a slightly different story when you are together. As you continue to spend time with someone, you pick up on their energy and activity in understanding or misunderstanding it. So if every time you have sex as a couple, it has been initiated by the same person, it is only a matter of time before they start getting worried about you not being fully invested in them. Anyone who has experienced this situation will explain that it feels as if they are only responding to your initiation out of being polite. In a perfect world where everyone is with the person they love, it will significantly boost if couples chased each other from time to time. There's a misconception that because a person has now agreed to be your partner, you have to stop doing what you used to do when trying to get them to be with you. It is not valid. Everyone needs to feel wanted all the time, and will also have to reciprocate. So as I continue to show you that I want you, I need affirmation that you want me. One way that this can happen is by establishing a sexual drive. So, who initiates sex? The answer is everybody. There should not be a rule book on the dynamics of sexual satisfaction. Whoever is in the mood should call the shot. For example, men initiate more but enjoy it when others initiate and will like to initiate less. Women are uncomfortable because they are afraid of the shame associated with rejection, but will be more satisfied if they initiated more. That's all for today's discussion. If you have any questions, you can drop them in the comments section. See you next time. Bye!